check this out, though. First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the sale.
What up, family? It's your boy Amaru, and we are back again with another episode of the top 100 hip-hop songs of all time. If you anything like me or any of my friends, you've seen that video, but with like flags on them, with like the U.S. being Steve Carell and those other two countries being them other two arguing with each other. If you know, you know. But we're back. We're here. And like always, I am with my man right over here, Mr. Kolby Mack. Kolby, how you feeling today? How's the podcast going?
Yeah.
How close are you?
Not as close as I would like to be. However, as the king of procrastination, the prince of popping off with not much to produce, it's expected.
Hey, but good to see you. As always, housekeeping before I get to everybody else, please subscribe to the Like 500 Takes channel if you like music discussion. Thank you to Bar in Brooklyn, who was on last week, for letting us use it. You can catch me, your boy Amaru, on Bite Size Breakdown, talking movies on top of whatever else I like to talk about TV-wise. BiteSizeBreakdown.com and Bite Size Breakdown YouTube channel. Then now I'm going to go over KB, man with the shades, always on, whether inside, outside, whatever it is. How you feeling today, sir? There you
go. Chilling, man. Lovely day today, even though it's hot.
Hot as hell.
Yeah, been really focused on putting this event together. For those watching, July 11th, putting on a gala event called "Oh You Fancy Huh?" Got some of Charlotte's great musical talents. Promise to God, Makeda Iroquois, and the band Sonorous Wave. So check it out. "Oh You Fancy Her," July 11th at 8 p.m.
Yeah, KBB putting on a whole bunch of stuff going on here, especially with the underground music scene. So definitely go check that out. And last but not least, you've seen it before on One Gotta Say. If you've seen it on my channel, it's been a minute. But always love talking to her. Drew, you can see her on Drew's Reviews on IG. Plug, promote. How you feeling about being on today?
I'm excited. This should be fun. Something different than what I normally talk about. I usually talk about movies, TV shows, actors, actresses, and things like that. Like you say, you can find me on IG or TikTok, Drew's Reviews, and I'm excited to get started.
All right. And then last but not least, next week, we should be hitting Sunday, 7 o'clock. We've been keeping at least that consistent time, but we're going to hit you up next Sunday. No NBA Finals anymore, so y'all don't got to watch that. Instead, y'all can come on over here, watch us. But with that, we're going to get right into it.
No more finals. Love Island time, bro. Love Island gang in the house, bro.
I know nothing of that. I'm not in these streets. I don't want to be in these streets. I don't want to be adjacent to the streets. So anything that's making me feel the streets, I'm good. I'll leave that to my wife. But anyway, we're going to get straight into number 80. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a little sad that this is at 80. One of the greatest of all time, groups of all time. We got 80, Electric Relaxation, A Tribe Called Quest. You can see how high I have it. I have it at number 11. KB, you were at 157. I'm gonna let you go first with this one, sir, before I pop off.
Again, the only reason it's this low is because I had so many other songs that I thought about afterwards. I'm going to echo the same sentiment as we go along, especially when it comes to great songs like this. This song was a vibe. It's still a vibe to this day. Well, again, one of them songs where, like, if I hear it, I'm going to stop and listen to the whole thing. Like, I'm talking about a real mood changer of a song. I'm talking about incense burning, chilling with cool fam, the sun getting ready to go down. There's a cookout. I'm talking about real vibes. And this had to be on the list because I feel like it had that impact on people to this day, I feel like. So that's, again, the only reason it's down that low is because I had other songs that I thought about. But otherwise, this would be high up in the list, probably in the top 50 for sure.
Yeah, for me, I got it at number 11. I was very surprised I had this song. Oh, phone's ringing. It's all good. I'm very surprised I had this song over one other Tribe song. But honestly, Yo, this song, you said it. I'm driving, windows down, top off, just mood music. Smooth as shit. I'll have Brooklyn come correct me if I'm wrong, but that bass, just doom, doom, doom. Oh man, it's just smooth as shit. We talked about it a bunch. We're gonna talk about it a little bit more a little later on, but I don't think we ever think about how well Fife and Q-Tip go back and forth. Like they're a group. We consider them a group, but as a duo, they are absolutely killer. And when you listen to the lyrics of this song, you also kind of forget that this is low key. I'm a sex you to hell down song, up and down. I like brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, a Haitian, all the way down to Fife saying busting off on your couch like you got Siemens furniture. Like you listen to those lyrics and they try to get it in. Hella smooth. You walking up to somebody nice. You having a great conversation, but they just kind of sneak those in there. And the lyrical ability, the production from Q-Tip, I just think this is their most well put together song of everything that they are in one space. I got it at 11. I am an absolute lover of this song. Kolby, you didn't have it on your list, but what do you think about Electric Relaxation, sir?
It was a blind spot. You know, when I think about this song, it is probably inside of New York Undercover, the Wayans Brothers TV show. Pretty much think of almost every iconic TV show from the early to mid to late 90s as like the musical transition from one scene to the next when you're going from a different setting, right? Because that's exactly what it's always used to, right? It's essentially anytime you think about it, you close your eyes and we're going from inside of like an apartment where somebody's going through like a drug bust or something like that, and then we need to go over to like somebody else's house. And this is that transition because, like you said, it is one of the coolest beats ever, hands down. I think the beat is more superior to the lyrics. The lyrics is about trying to go after a girl. And it's nothing that's like technically like doing some crazy thing. This is just effortlessly cool and a complete blind spot for me. I am sorry.
Hey man, there's a whole bunch of songs on here. Drew, what about you? You hear Electric Relaxation. How do you feel about this song?
Yeah, first of all, out of the songs that you know are in this lineup for today, I'm shocked that this is at 80. Like KB said, like this song is such a vibe to me. Like when I was listening to it earlier today, it just like reminded me of what I assume a perfect day in 93 could have been. I was only 1 year old, but like, you know, you just, before technology took over things, right? You just chilling with your peoples at a park, on a porch, wherever the case may be. You spending game at shorties, you feel me? Nobody scaring the hoes, nobody being too weird or anything like that. So it's just like a good vibe. What I assume a perfect day in 93 would have been like. I also think of it like, if for some reason aliens came down and was all like, show me like a dope hip hop rap song. I've been hearing y'all playing it talk about rap, like play a song. This would be one of the songs that I would play. Like, it's just like, all right, like this is a chill little vibe. So I mess with this song heavy.
Yo, somebody's playing that outside my window right now.
Yo,
Right now,
exactly.
I am
literally what you're supposed to be doing.
Out my window right now. That's crazy.
I mean, the aliens heard. That's what they did. They heard it and they wanted it played. They know what's going on. And I was gonna say, like, that playlist must include Tribe, a song from Cast, probably a song from Dre, and I'm trying to figure out who. Maybe random because I'm like thinking Midwest as well. I would put Twista in there for some reason, just because I'm thinking Chicago, and I think Chicago. Twista goes in there, maybe Common. Yeah, but Tribe is definitely up there for y'all, because this is definitely not the first time Tribe's coming up. Were you more of a Q-Tip fan or Fife fan?
Are you asking?
Anyhow.
I think it's an easy argument to say that most people were a Q-Tip fan only because I guess his energy, he was, I don't want to say relatable, but I feel like people connected with him a lot easier Just like a lot of people are drawn to Busta Rhymes and Leaders in the New. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Fife at all. R.I.P. to Fife, fellow Trini. But I just feel like Q-Tip had that little edge of I don't know what charisma. I guess he had that little.
He was
edge.
the front man, right? Like,
Yeah,
He's basically the front man. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've always been a fan of Fife.
Me too.
All the time. Any Tribe song, I'm like, when's Fife coming on? I'm waiting for him to just remind. We had the conversation last week. He reminds me of the dynamic between Dre and Big Boy, where everybody always gave the props to Dre, but you always remember Big Boy can rap his ass off, and Fife does that every time he comes on.
Yeah, he definitely has some I would say between the two, he probably has more lines that people remember, like more like catchy lines that people remember, for sure.
100%. Any final thoughts on this masterpiece of a song, Electric Relaxation? Cool. Going from one heartbreak for me to the next heartbreak for me. Oh man, and another great duo. It's the Rock Wilder by Method Man and Redman. Drew, you look a little upset. I'm gonna go straight to you. It's on the list, which it should be. But how you feeling about the Rock Wilder?
I'm y'all just shocking me right now. That is a bop. When I first played it, when you sent me like the songs, I didn't have like a core memory of like ever hearing this song before. Like I was probably like 7 years old when it came out. I think it came out like in '99, so it wasn't really something I was listening to. But the beat is fire. As soon as it like starts, like I was listening to it, I was like, nah, let me go put on the music video. Like I just want to see, everything that's going on. Method Man and Redman, like their flows individually are dope, but like together, it just like complemented each other so well. And it's a song that you like want to keep going. Like the fact that it's only like 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, run that back. Like you don't want the song to end. And that to me makes a good song where you're like, I don't want this to end. Let me play it again. So yeah, that shit's fire. Thanks for putting me on.
Yeah. Sawed off shotgun, hand on the pump, sipping on the 40, smoking on the blunt, bust my gun off, Red and Meth didn't jump. La 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 la. That just do that again and again and again. I do have a core memory of this, but as an adult, one, I love the song in general. Just the build up all the way down to when you singing that with them. One of the key things I did as a teacher back in Oakland is I put together like a bunch of videos or whatever. And they had me put together like a video with kids where we need them to get from one class to the next in 5 minutes. You don't got to run. You don't got to do, but you need to get there, right? And like the beginning of the video, I set up like these two kids who were just doing all the once the bell rings, the wildest shit, running around, throwing footballs, messing with each other. And right before the bell rings, you just hear doom, 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 that build up. And as soon as the bell rings, just Method Man comes in. That's the type that is the type of like hype that I need. Anytime I just want to get into something, it's this song. And also the disrespect that Redman kind of gets a lot of the time. We get a lot of these. When I say disrespect, I mean disrespect because people sometimes think of Redman. I don't know if Kolby, if it was you or somebody else, Redman is like low-key a funny rapper. Like he's all jokes, which he is. He's absolutely fucking hilarious.
He would be considered the gimmick guy, right? He would be the Bushwick Bill. He would be, you know what I'm saying? Like he would be Flavor, right? Flavor Flav, right? He would be like the guy that seems, even though like on its face, he doesn't seem like the gimmick guy, right? Like I think that he's just as talented of many of the rappers that he's around. He just kind of, I think it's his choice of like structure of how he raps.
His cadence, his voice.
It is. It's more animated than some of the stuff. Like even on this song, I think Meth is like Meth gets the first verse, right? Like so, like he's coming just so much from a different standpoint where it's feel like Meth is, Meth is the stern one, and Red is the punchline, right? And that was the same setup inside of How Hot, right? Like it's just one of those things where he played into that, and I think that's why. Right. I I think that he probably deserves a bit more of his flowers as a respected, MC. But like, I think he's kind of cool with where he's at. I don't think he's disrespected. I'll say that.
Okay, you maybe disrespect another word, but underrated. But I was saying that to set up like this is why he finishes off the song. Like you would kind of think like all the posse cuts. You're waiting to see who gets the last verse. The last verse is the verse everybody wants. With Meth and Red, especially on this song, you see how well they go together because Meth is almost actually the perfect one to start the song because he comes in smooth, he comes in punching, and then Redman just hits you in the mouth and leads up to the call and response back and forth at the end. And I absolutely love how he kills this. I had it at 35. KB, you had it at 132.
Yeah, I had it 132. It's one of those fun summertime songs as well. That you could definitely hear at a cookout or even in a club. I wanted to kind of speak to the point Kolby made about Red's position between the duo. I mean, I think that worked for the duo. Red playing his role as like I guess the slightly more comedic side of the two of them. But being the old head of the group, I remember when Red came out. I remember going to the local record store in New Jersey, where Red is from, buying What the Album in '92, and that whole album was just straight gutter, like straight gutter raps. Like
I'm for some action was on that, right?
Yeah, that was probably my favorite song at the time, and I even back then when I listened back to that album, he definitely had skits that kind of prelude who he was going to be by the time the 2000s came around. But by the time him and Met became this dynamic duo, because a lot of his skits was funny, very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It told a story. He's a great storyteller too. So I wasn't surprised that he kind of fell into that groove of the punchline, funny, gimmicky, charismatic type of dude out of the two. The other thing with that is too, I feel like if he, and again, this is no disrespect to Red because he's honestly one of my favorite rappers of all time. Jersey bias, I don't give a shit. But his I think the injustice, the only injustice is that people don't understand like Red could flip that switch and give you some hardcore rap too. I don't think a lot of people truly got to see that, especially the younger generation, because they've only been familiar with the Red that we're used to now, that kind of came about in the 2000s. But all in all, I think this song is definitely belongs on the list. I think I was really hoping that they would have kept doing music like that, the two of them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is what it is. I will say though, and that was the point I was trying to make. I don't feel like Red's career, and no disrespect to Red, I feel like his career wouldn't have taken off this far had he not teamed up with Matt. Only because by that time, he didn't really have a strong machine behind him. Def Jam wasn't really doing much with their artists at that time. And Met was already getting a lot of deals just by the strength of him being Met part of the Wu-Tang Clan, which is a global phenomenon. So I think that was the only thing that really helped to keep Redman relevant. But like I said, outside of that, they gave us great music for that time when they were together.
There was a point in time I thought Redman was a part of Wu-Tang Clan. I've had to correct people about that for a while. Like, nah, Red was
he's an honorary Wu.
He was an honorary Wu, but he was with Eric Sermon. He was with Keith Murray. That was his crew. Mm-hmm. And he just happened to also fuck with Meth so heavy that people was like, oh yeah, he's on the Wu-Tang. Like, give me members of the Wu-Tang thing. Oh yeah, Method Man, Redman. No. He's not. He's not an official member. He's there. He's there, but he's not an official member. Kolby, you talked about the duo, but what about the song? How you feel about the song, sir?
Oh, one of the hardest beats of all time. it is definitely one of the. It's tough that we had to submit 200, and then when we're kind of coming together, I'm like, dang, how there's so much. I love how like quintessential the sound is of the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, like it's just one of those where I just want to hear. Like, I would love to be inside of like a drop top and just like the big wolf, like subwoofers in the back of the trunk. I want to hear it, like the beat in the back of my balls. Like, it is such a hard song. Like, this is fight music of like the most friendliest hip hop way, in my opinion.
Oh, man.
It's sad that like once again I completely missed it. I think as I was constructing my list to what would be like quintessential to me, I put so much more onus on Wu and less of them apart from everybody to be representative. And my hope was that it would still end up in the list, which it did. It's number 79, which is great. Like, it's a fantastic song. Shout out to Rockwilder, great production.
Yes,
I really love the sound. Once again, I feel like every week we're gonna like come up with like other lists. Like, oh, we need to do like a top 50 just like producer list. Like, I don't know, because
shit like that, yeah,
something like that.
I definitely told my wife earlier this week, you know, when I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna go over to like R&B songs, right? I'm not gonna want to stop doing this because it's damn fun. I'm not even that good at R&B, but I just want to keep talking about shit. But you mentioned, last thing for me, at least on this, you mentioned how hard it goes. KB, I think you were with me at our friend's house in New Year's, and I put this on, and the most gulliest New York chick just came on. Oh, I'm with this with you. You got meth, I got red. Let's go. She was drunk as hell, but she was ready to go. And then once she hit the bar, she didn't know. She was like, "You take it, go. I'm gonna just be a hype man on the side." Yeah, a lot of cool memories with the song. Love it, absolutely love it. Drew, anything else before we move on to number 78, possibly?
No, I'm good. It's a banger.
All right. Well, I queued you up just because we have a tie coming in. So we're going to go one by one. But not only do we have a two-way tie, we have a three-way tie. So we're going to go one by one, going through the next three songs. And I think like when I did the math here, a lot of the songs are separated like 0.3333 points. So like the difference between 79 and then 78, 77, 76 is literally, it actually is, actually these ones, yeah, it's 0.6667 difference between three songs that averaged 155, which is, and then the next one was 155.66667. So these three are tied. I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to start with Outkast, The Way You Move, and I'm going to go over to Kolby. Kolby, you have this at number 47. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how mildly underrated Big Boy is, and like I think one of a really like unique conceptual albums of Speakerboxxx and Love Below felt like a schism between Outkast, but I think was also like this really good opportunity to be able to put and highlight the best of what they do together, but kind of on these different like, you know, hemispheres of it, right? And I think like The Way You Move, like it is such a cool beat. And I think that this is, I don't want to say it's quintessential Big Boy, but I think this was like a newer chapter of Big Boy. Because like in his earlier days when he was really rough, but still sharp with it, this is like that effortless cool that Big Boy on the back of how Outkast magnified him personally was just like, you know, this kind of like tipping point for who he is, and he's ridden this wave to like I guess like this unk status that he is, right? And The Way You Move, like boom, 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 and then just like that great. It is so good. It comes in, and music video wise, I think that we can all agree it is probably like on the Mount Rushmore with Sir Mix-a-Lot's face on there. If we're talking about booties in hip hop music video history, when Homegirl walked out, and I understand. I want y'all to understand something. BBLs, it was not.
Not at all.
Oh, The Way You Move We understood it. The assignment was understood. It was folded up high into them cheeks. And go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, you wildin'. You absolutely wildin'. But yes, everybody does remember. Everybody does. I absolutely love this song. I think that people forget how heavy this was played everywhere, because Hey Ya, one of the most famous songs of all time, also came out at the same time. But if you look at the numbers, singles, plays, records, that The Way You Move got played in the shadow of Hey Ya, it was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And I have to give a shout out. I took the banner off for a second because I could not put Sleepy Brown, the down south version of one Nate Dogg. I was like, is he up there with Nate Dogg? I'm like, no, Nate Dogg is on another level. But Sleepy Brown with Outkast is just, it's kind of perfect. It's, again, we've had a lot of smooth, well, no, the Rock Wild's not that smooth. Another smooth song that makes you feel good. But for me, I put this hand in hand with another song that I love because it just sounds like an HBCU marching band anthem. This and Morris Brown, cookout music, 100%, all day. And again, just the ease in which Big Boy can just rap at his flow, just syllable after syllable after syllable with no breaks, no stops. It's such a damn good song. Again, not the first time we've seen Outkast, not the last time. And I was also contemplating, do I put Big Boy or do I put Outkast? It's labeled as Outkast. So I have that there. KB, you do not have this on your list. Speak on it though.
Everything that you guys said was true and accurate about the song. I think the reason why I didn't put it on the list is because, and this was something I had forgot to mention, I guess, the last episode when it came to Outkast. I feel like when they started reaching, great heights as far as their respect in the music industry, they started, in my opinion, sounding more poppy than hip hop. And not that there's anything necessarily wrong with it. I think we still got great music out of it. But when I think hip hop music, even though they're rapping, I never really consider that a hip hop song.
This one specifically.
Yeah, at its core. And songs like it.
I got a question before you go. If it wasn't released at the same time as Hey Ya, would you have that same mindset?
Yeah.
Hey Ya, 100% feel you.
Yeah, Hey Ya is straight up. That's a song.
Pop.
Yeah,
it's pop.
That's a pop.
Hey Ya was TRL. This was 106 and Park.
Yeah. But I feel like they both still kind of had the same vibe, the same pull, the same energy. Obviously, Hey Ya, appealed to. I mean, both songs appeal to all races. Let's be honest. Hey Ya just got that extra push because it was very, very,
very poppy.
Very poppy. So
very catchy.
Yeah. So I mean that's really the only reason why I didn't put that song on there, because I was really trying to stay in the realm of hip hop. But yeah, otherwise it's a good song. Great song.
Drew, you got this and two other ones to kind of battle out in your head to figure out where they're going. What you thinking on The Way You Move?
It was a fun commercial song, right? Like it was like a fun commercial song, right? Like you might, I don't know if Forever 21 was around then, but like if you like the songs that you were like, okay, this is gonna be playing in like a little store or something like that. That was fun. I did think Big Boy's flow was really nice, real player with it. And it was just appropriate, right? Like when I was a kid, there was a song that if it came on in the radio, my mom would let me listen to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of memories that I have of it. I will say I was never the biggest Outkast fan. And I don't know if it was because the stuff just felt like, the songs, but it's just like, am I turning them on for myself? Probably not. Maybe it's like just my age or something like that. But I mean, it was a fun song. It's a fun song. I want to see what else it's tied with, because it's like, wait, what? Like y'all could have been. This could have been 80. This could have been 100.
I was gonna ask whether or not it was West Coast bias, but no, Outkast was everywhere, man. So yeah, maybe. Well, here we go. I'm gonna go throw straight to KB because this is one of KB's hits. It's Tricky by Run DMC is the second one. KB, you have it at 33. Speak on it, sir.
Again, I was kind of, when I was putting this list together, again, I'm basing it on cultural impact, my personal favorites, etc., etc. So the only reason I put It's Tricky on there is because this was Run DMC. When Run DMC is, I would say, probably, from the original era of hip hop, the first generation of hip hop. Like, without people like them, we don't have hip hop today. And uh, that song to me at the time kind of showed me the potential that hip hop had to become what it became today. Like, back then, I couldn't really fully envision where that would land, um, where the genre would land, honestly. But when I heard this song, I was like, man, like, this is a fun song, fun lyrics. Nothing crazy lyrically that kids can't rap to or whatever. Um, I mean, some might argue it's a little poppy. Um, I know that's only because, again, Run DMC was probably one of the first groups to really start, like, crossing that line of appealing to people outside of our community. You know what I mean? Because hip hop at that time was very much a uh, urban black music, which a lot of the industries at the time didn't even think would really go far. But when Run DMC came onto the picture, especially with this song and Walk This Way, holy crap! Like, a lot of people didn't see that coming, and it really, at the time, it made a lot of people hopeful for where the genre would go next after that. So it's just on, mainly because of the cultural impact and the fact that it's a fun song, that I had to put it up higher on the list.
Kolby, you had it at 132, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny the iconography of this song. It transcended pop, hip hop into pop. I think now it's kind of more notable for being played in, you name, 50, 11 different dozen movies, right? It is inside of some type of, series of shots or
Sports
things of that
arenas.
nature. Yeah, so it's become so much bigger than what it is, right? Like that infusion of kind of, rock and hip hop, and you just hearing the drums and the guitar. Like, it's cool. It's a fun song. It doesn't necessarily speak to me. I'm not gonna diss it and say it's not my hip hop. It's a very early. It's like in the earliest form of what hip hop was. But it stands a test of time and should be on a list. And I'm fine with it kind of pushing up other things out the way. And that's the respect I'll give it.
Drew, what about you? What are you feeling about It's Tricky?
Oh, well before my time. Well before my time. But I still think it's a song that, in comparison to other songs that are before my time, I enjoy hearing it. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to give no songs away, but there's some songs on this list like, this is too beyond my time and I would never turn this on. But like Kolby was saying, like in the movies and things like that, I'm just thinking about having a good time, taking shots at a party, transitioning through a film and things like that. So it's a fun song. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I putting together a list. I did the same thing. I had to like just impact wise, had to think about whether or not I'm going to leave something on or put something on. Run DMC rides that line. They really, really do. And I'm gonna just break through. There's a song coming up too that we're gonna have the same conversation with. This one though, I do not have any Run DMC on my top 200. I don't believe. If I do, it's way, 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 way down, I think. However, when I heard like it's tricky in its in its full run in a long time. But when I played it, I was like, ooh, this does hit. This I forget that Rev and DMC actually hit pretty hard for where they were at the time. And I actually really like their rock sensibilities. You got the guitar, you got the drums. It reminds me a lot of well, of course it reminds me, but they're first. Like what I like about the Beastie Boys is what I like about Run DMC. I lean more towards Beastie because I feel like it's their flow was a little bit more advanced. But this is one where thinking about it, I may have like put this at the like very, very bottom of my 200 and knock some other stuff off. But I think I just said forget it because it's the thing of where just cause they were pioneers doesn't guarantee you a spot on the list. It has to be like undeniable. The one undeniable song from Run DMC to me is a song that I don't like as much as everybody else, which is Walk This Way. Like, it is undeniable what it did, but between hearing it so much over the span of my life and going, I guess, with the like, it's also like it's hip hop, but it's also rock. I get it if you have it, but like their flows are still the foundation. But again, you can hear, especially here, you can hear, KB, you said it right. You can hear what they're building to. So when I did listen to it again and when I played it, I did remember, I don't remember, there was a movie that the song was on with like randomly like Penn and Teller was in that fucking movie or some shit. And I remember that. So when it played, I was like, ooh, this is hitting a little harder than I remember. Man, maybe I should have had it at like 190 something, 195 in the 180s. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. There's certain foundational hip hop artists that make my list up and down. It's just not them. It really isn't. So that's where it was for me. And I'll tell you this: me and KB had the same artists, and it was it was so like aggravating that KB had like 5 songs from this artist, but I then had 5 different songs from this artist. And I'm like, yo, where are we gonna mess? Just to show, because that dude was great across the board, that we had so many different songs. But anyway, that's another conversation for another day. The third song in this trio of songs is Breaking My Heart Again. But it's okay. Because Kolby had to deal with his heartbreak last week. I'm just getting it again and again and again. I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define what I'll be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform all robberies. The greatest intro into any song of hip-hop ever. Triumph from Wu-Tang Clan. Inspector Deck came in stepping on y'all necks after ODB came in talking his shit, and they don't let go for like 6 to 7 minutes straight. I'm going to keep going because this is my 5th best hip-hop song of all time for me. This beat is absolutely just layer upon layer. The woo, first off, and then the way that, I don't know what it is, but when RZA puts in that do and just ramps it up and ramps it up and ramps it up, I think the only thing that slightly dampens this song, and when I say slightly, I mean minuscule, they actually put everybody on this song. So you gotta go through Capadonna and you gotta go through Master Killer. Now, Capadonna came on and was like, you know what? That was cool. But Master Killer came on, I was like, come on, get to the next dude. But they set it up so well because they kicked it off with, again, the best opening, and probably, if you want to talk about it, maybe pound for pound the best lyricist in the group, and Inspector Deck coming on first. Then they followed up with the dude you usually put front and center with Meth, and he just kept it going, right? And every time they had one of their dudes that were a little lower, they backed it up and punched you in the mouth with somebody else. So right before Master Killer was Jizza. And right after Master Killer was Ghost and Raekwon to finish off the song, make you jump like Ross Strickland. And then like, so they kept like any little bump down and the memories you might not like, they came back and hit you in the mouth. And even perpendicular to the square, offbeat as hell RZA makes you laugh. It's just it is. How long is this damn song? It is.
I think it's like 6 minutes.
Straight rapping, just straight rapping, just going and going and going and going and going. This is just a masterclass of one, not only hip hop, not only rapping, but music and artistry in general, because you also have to figure out how to put 9 Negroes on a song and make them feel like they belong together and give them the time. And like they gave You God a spot on this. You God don't do shit. So like this song is just it ain't nothing to fuck with. It isn't. KB, you have Triumph at number 160. Speak on it, sir.
Yeah, and listen, like I said, Wu-Tang is my favorite. Wu-Tang forever. And if I was just gonna base this on my bias, like the first 20 would be Wu-Tang songs, including this. But like I said, I had to keep a level head when I was putting this list together. So just because it's 160, don't get it fucked up. I fuck with this song heavy, all right, heavy, all right. But I think and I think it's one of those songs when you talking to true hip hop heads or historians, they going to reference this song as one of them shits when they drop. Like I remember the year they dropped. Well, I was a sophomore in high school, and we was going crazy on the bus when this song came out.
I was alive. I was at least alive.
Yeah.
And I remember it dropping too.
so it's like, and yeah, of course, like I always felt like Inspector Deck was just like, I feel like he should have been the Ghostface Killer, because like he will come at you from out of nowhere with just devastating lyrics. Like you just be like, God, who thinks of that? Just nasty. But yeah, I think that song showed a lot of people that Wu-Tang wasn't no one-hit wonder, because this was off of the Wu-Tang Forever album, their second album after 36 Chambers. I think this song being one of their first singles kind of let people know, like, we still ain't nothing to fuck with. We still will drop bombs on your head. We will still come for your neck every single time. And they did the damn thing on this song. They did 6 minutes of ass kicking. Well, with occasional breaks, because yeah, like you said, like there was some. Sometimes I wonder like why they put like you mentioned You God and stuff like that, and it's like You God wasn't strong on this song, but I feel like what he gave was just like a quick intermission before we get back into the ass kicking again. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I like about RZA's production and arrangement, is that he knows who needs to go where in each song and what role they play in each song, and I think that's why it worked so well for as long as it did. But again, that being the case, it's not one of my most played songs of Wu. So, and again, I didn't want my bias to take full control, so I had to push that. Regrettably, I had to push that down a lot further. But yeah, it's still one of the songs that I would probably play every once in a while.
I will say, Kolby, before I go to you, it's not one of my most replayed all the way through, but I definitely play that first verse like over and over and over and over again. That first 6-7 bars from Inspector were so good, and I knew it was one other part of the beat, the violin that goes with the yeah. It's just it's New York at its soul. just in the gutter. Kolby, you didn't have it on the list, but it's Wu-Tang, man. So I know you got some good stuff to say about it.
I mean, I got great things to say about Wu-Tang. I cannot for the life of me remember this song before today.
Damn.
Maybe what year this song came out?
96, 97.
Oh yeah, I was deep in the
something like
Pokemon
that.
cars back then. Nah.
So was I. I was deep in the Pokemon. I started saying Obama topically on your ass.
No, I don't know. I can't explain it. This just woo. Shout outs to the Woo. I can understand just getting to know you over like this, series and stuff that we've done through Bite Size. Like I can understand why the Woo and certain artists of that ilk speak to you, and it makes sense why I crack shit like your top 5, right? I think for me, it was just like in this blind spot of like my yesteryears to where like I was young. You just kind of miss. There's so many songs. I'm not mad at you. I don't think that Dreux was gonna choose it, but I'm not mad at it.
We'll see. Well, Dreux, he gave you the alley. So I'll talk about Triumph first, and then break down where you're gonna put these 3 songs, which is gonna be 78, 77, and which one's gonna be 76.
This is like 100, like your top 100 hip hop songs, like a cohesive songs, right? Am I correct? For me, when listening to it, it feels more like a cipher or like a freestyle, and like just your voice spitting, opposed to a cohesive song, in my opinion. So that's why this one would be what's the late, like 79?
So we got 78, 77, and 76.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that at 78. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like a cohesive song. But
That's what I put.
Yeah,
For real.
And then this one's kind of hard. I'm trying to not be, I don't know, 78, 77. These could almost be interchangeable for me, but I'm gonna put It's Tricky. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put I Like the Way You Move at 77, and then It's Tricky at 76. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So going through as I put these numbers in, all 3 of these songs were tied when we put the math together. But according to Dreux, who our guests are finishing off, so it's not just us 3, but it's as many people as possible. We now have Triumph at number 78, moving over to The Way You Move at number 77 by Outkast with Sleepy Brown, and then Run DMC, It's Tricky at 76. And Dreux, your job's not done. I will tell you, I figure out, I'm pretty sure I can type in what numbers are where, but based on what's coming up. There are 2 more songs that are tied. One's going to get 75. One's going to get 76. And I'm just going to get this one out the way now. The wheels on the bus go round and round. And I'm going to come in with a brand new sound because these are the brave. Bring it up. Bring it up. I know what it is. I'm just going to, this is what I was talking about, where, there's at a certain point, I get your standing and I get what you're doing and I get your importance, but we have passed you. I'm sorry, Curtis. I am not going to disrespect. This song is, I know, especially back then, was a banger. And you know what? It still probably is a banger. There's a groove there. The man knows how to move a crowd, how to make you dance and all that. But I can't not laugh a little bit when I hear it. But there's a groove to it. It's a straight groove. But I was sitting here listening. Also, the fact that it's 7 minutes long. Also, with those 7 minutes, I was making up my lyrics, and I don't rap for shit, but I was able to keep up with the song with my own freestyle in my head. And if I can do that, I'm like, yeah, this is why it's not on my list. But outside of that, Curtis Blow is a pioneer. This is 100% a song worthy to be on this list. The impact that he had, the impact that this song had. We talked about party anthems in the past episodes and in honorable mentions. This is probably the start of party anthems at its core. So for me, that's why it's not on my list. I'm gonna go over to Kolby next, and then I'm gonna let KB actually bring us back up with the song.
I mean, there's this, I'm of a certain mind. I think this is why there's some blind spots, because I felt like it'd be wrong to not make room on iconic hip hop songs to be representative on the list. Where they would fall would be kind of like left up to us to kind of debate. I mean, obviously it's outside of my personal 100, but like it's got to be in there. And as ABC 1, 2, 3, this rap is here for you and me. It's so like if anything, this intro to like rhyme scheme is like necessary to get you into there, right? And I gotta clap it up for that. But that's about all I got for it. Could I name another Curtis Blow song? Absolutely not.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Think about Bow Wow, because he remade it, and the finals just ended.
Oh, well, that basketball is favorite sport.
There you go. There you go. You got another one. There you go. You do know another one. I know
yes,
you know another one. Okay,
I do. Yes, all right. I put this above. I actually enjoy playing that. Yeah, you know what? Nah. Shout out to this song, man.
KB, you have this at 32. Go ahead, speak on it. Please give it more respect than we have. Even though we respected it, we gave it a couple of jabs. Though.
You know, Rue, when you asked me to do this, right? One of the things that I had given very little thought about initially, but have been given more thought to it as I've been doing these episodes with you, is the different views of each generation, right? Me being the oldest person in here, it's like I've seen and experienced different things in the history of hip hop that the rest of you would have experienced, right? And not to say that I was like around when Curtis Blow first dropped this song, but like I was definitely around I was always around older people as a youth, so. Mm-hmm. You know, I would hear this song and I was taught the significance of this song and, you know, the importance of this song and so on and so forth. So like, you know, and then again, when you brought this to me, like I was treating it like I'm treating this like a history lesson of sorts. Like, yeah, this is supposed to be this is supposed to be kind of like a little bit of our personal influence on it. Like, but I feel like, you know, for those who will watch this, especially younger generations, especially if you want to be in the realm of hip hop as an artist, you got to know your history. Period. Anybody that you ask from any other genre, for the most part, knows their history in the genre that they partake in. So I feel like, you know, bringing up people like Run DMC, Curtis Blow, LL Cool J, you know, and the like, I think that is important, and this is you know, what better platform to do that than on this one, right? So that being said, Curtis Blow, for probably up to maybe the early 2000s, this song, The Breaks, was definitely being played at the cookout for sure. It was played at the birthday parties. It was played at some sporting events. It was played, you know what I mean? And people would get up and groove a little bit, you know what I mean, when this song came on, you know? It definitely was one of the foundational records that reminded people that you can make songs about having a good time, but you could also you could also talk about bad times and still make it fun and entertaining too, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this song here will always be high on the list as far as its influence on the culture long term.
100%. 100%. Dreux, I don't know how many years it was out before you, but you can still speak on it. How you feel about The Breaks? My first question: you had to have known about this song before?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. It came out 12 years before I was born, but I've heard of the song, definitely, for sure. First, I want to say I like what you said, KB, about knowing your history. I think that's important, just like in anything in life that you're doing, and I feel that that's something that's lacking in like hip hop or rap now. Like you have artists who are really just in it for like the money, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't really care about the artistry or like where this has come from, which I feel like makes folks like disrespect, the genre. Like y'all don't respect what y'all doing. This is a quick check for y'all. So yes, any inspiring artists, know your history. With that said, I respect the historic and cultural significance of this song. And that alone, it belongs on the list. But does it have like an impact on me? No. Like I feel like if he was coked out in the 80s at a party, this shit probably went up. So I understand it's a bop for his time, and I'm not mad at it. But the length is crazy as hell. Like
Yeah, I did not know this. I did not know this song was 7 minutes long.
And it's actually closer to the 8-minute mark. It's actually crazy, but it's a cool song and I respect it. You can vibe to it for a little bit. It's like, damn, I've been vibing for 6 minutes now. Turn it off. But
do you know why it's that long though?
I would assume like during that time to keep a party going, like maybe DJ
exactly.
Exactly. The flow of a party going. So
exactly.
I understand it from that perspective. Our attention span is long as they used to be.
You are absolutely right. Yes, correct.
And you think about other songs that are like still like everybody knows from hip hop that like they're gonna be coming up later in this series. Those songs are also very, very long as well. But yeah, KB, you said it. I think all of us approached it the same way, where it's like we put our own personal experience in it, but there are certain songs that like no matter what, even if you don't listen to it on your own, you can't not have it or you can't not like respect it. And again, why when I originally did it and it was just me and Kolby, and then I thought of you, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Get KB on the show like right now, dude. What do you do? So like exactly why I want you here. Exactly why I want Dreux here, because like the history, like I think we're about like me and Kolby are real close, but we hitting like just every generation except the ones out now, because I'm around y'all every day. That's not the summer, and I don't need to hear it. I don't. I don't need to hear that at all. But tied with this is a song that I did not have on my list for a while. And then every time I heard it, I was like, I can't not do it. We talked about this man last week. I think we talked about both these men last week. But this song is Forgot About Dre by Dr. Dre and Eminem. Kolby, you had it higher than me. You had it at 77. So I'm going to go to you first, sir. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I will say, I think if it's any two artists that really can penetrate me with that West Coast sound, Dre principally has to be a part of that. And then in some ism is going to be like Snoop and Cube, right? Dre has a way of like kind of like creating this sound that to me has universal appeal. It doesn't give me that, that sounds like it's from the West Coast. Like it's there's something about that. It's just it's a bop. Like it's so easy. I mean, of course, I kind of have to ignore Dre's like raps, but like it's not about him. It's about M. Like it's cool. It's about Eminem coming in there, right? And this beat is just like super duper hard.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna have to disagree with you here on Dr. Dre. I think this is one of, whether he wrote it or not, I think this is one of Dr. Dre's like, not the best. I have an easy, hands down, best verse from Dre or Dre rapping. But again, this was one that I keep forgetting about, and I'm going to be very honest with it. Where Eminem is now in the history of hip hop, where you have to, it's a point where unfortunately you have to low key keep reminding yourself at how top 5 dead or alive he is. And like, there are people who want to, because he had that run of albums that weren't great. And then again, I spoke on it before, but the people who never like only listen to his singles don't know how deadly this man is and how versatile this man is. So that's one reason like I didn't have it. And then I played it again and I was like, I think, and this is going to go to the other song we talk about with him way down the road. I think if you can make, I'll connect it to one I talked about already. Paul Wall's verse on Drive Slow is my second favorite verse of all time. If you can make simple things sound so damn good and hit so damn hard without the big metaphors and the wordplay and you can just hit. The song is called Forgot About Dre. And from jump, Dre comes in. Again, don't know if somebody wrote this for him, but he came in filling those lyrics. He came in saying, fuck everybody. Fuck all of you. I have the dude that says, fuck you the best with me on my side. And he came in hitting hard. I also remember the TRL release where this probably got more play and hype and then the fucking Backstreet Boys when it came out. Yeah, and then also don't like the beat. And then again, Eminem is so in always because you listen to those lyrics again. I don't know how many of us in the culture can actually relate to what the fuck he's saying outside of, dude, you speaking your truth and you speaking it well. And I'm going to rap every single word along to it. But I would have never said, I'm going to kill you and them loud ass motherfucking barking dogs. You got some shit going on with you. Like I don't know any rappers before him that was saying shit like that. And I don't know rappers after him that was saying shit like that wasn't drug related. And like lean produced emo shit that's going out right now, which also has its own merit. But like M is in his own lane, and like you knowing every single word to his lyrics, and then everybody and their mama working on being able to spit that chorus that fast. Like I don't want to say everything. I'm gonna go to you, Drew. I'm gonna let you kick it off from there because there's so much you can say about this.
Bro, I'm from Compton, so it's a bias already there. But that, like, you just hear that beat for the first time, like, oh my God, like, I wish I was a little older when this shit dropped because that beat is just crazy. Dr. Dre was talking mad shit, and then when you get to that chorus, and M is just, nowadays everybody want to talk like they got something like what? Like, my nigga, going crazy. This is like a West Coast Compton bop. Like I've heard this. This has a cultural impact on me and just like the way I grew up and what I listened to growing up. So
yeah, I don't think I even got to ask. I'm just gonna put it on there now. It's 74.
You already know.
While the breaks are 75. But yeah. Any other words on Forgot About Dre? Again, we've talked about this man, both of them before. Pretty sure we're talking about it more, but any other words before Forgot About Dre before we move on to the last three on the list? Yeah. And then when we move the list, it's a bunch of gibberish and motherfuckers act like they forgot. Yeah, it's just so good. It's just so good. Those were the ties for the week. So now we're just gonna go to 73, 72, and 71. And I'm gonna introduce this next one with a story. I don't know if our first guest is watching at all, but Matt Thomas, he is from this place called Mayfield Heights, Ohio. And I lived in this place called Mayfield Heights, Ohio for a year. It was not a good year in my life. Like all my years in my life was good, but this was like bottom place. I don't like it. And this is such a small, petty thing to bring up, but like, and very specific. I was on a soccer team. And it was probably like this mid-20s, early 30s white dude who coached the team. And I had my hair all out. Like the braids just came out. So I had the hair flowing, big fro. Because I just took it out, it wasn't like the little curly fro that my hair does. It was out there, right? And he said something along the lines, yes, I have. I've lived absolutely everywhere. He said something along the lines of, you look like that alternative group. Alternative group? What do you mean alternative? Yeah, the dudes that like rap and sing, and I'm like, are you fucking talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony as fucking alternative? Dude, I was respectful. So as an 7th grader, I wasn't cussing at him. But in my head, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? On 3 separate occasions, I had him, by the way. 3 separate occasions. So like, yeah, I think of that song. I think of that interaction and story time over. I have this at 40 because I remember when I was living in another space, Virginia, when this came out. And I thought I knew every word, but I just was going, and gotta live everybody, and then gotta live everybody. It is this song is as big as Hey Ya. This song was the song. And Drake owes everything to these gentlemen. Absolutely everything. Wasn't nobody singing and rapping on a song seamlessly before these gentlemen. It's the first instance I know of that their flows go from singing to rapping to singing to rapping, and the just versatility of what they do also reminded me. I was living in Ohio. I saw Wishbone at a Tony Roma's that year too, just randomly with his family. But anyway, this song was one of those songs that your mama would love to hear continuously. Again, the switch between the extremely fast flow that like I like them, and that the Logics and the M's, and they owe a lot to them as well. They were around the same time as Twista, and I love that like it's not the same rapid fire flow. It's their own specific thing. That video creeped the fuck out of me. It was scary as hell. And I wonder what happened to that dude who played the angel. And everybody has an Uncle Charles, y'all. Everybody misses Uncle Charles. They just do. But I have Crossroads at 40. KB, you had it at 113.
Yeah, no disrespect to this song. This is definitely a banger. And I think Bone Thugs and Harmony is just like that one group that everybody, without even saying it, everybody kind of agrees it's okay to sing the words completely wrong and have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody holds that against anybody when it comes to Bone Thugs. It's funny you mentioned. I thought it funny you mentioned Drake as far as like the singing rapping thing, because the person that popped in my mind was Nelly.
Yes, I'll get that too.
More off key.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, there ain't really much to say about this, man. Like, it's Bone Thugs. Like, I do feel like apart from not being able to immediately decipher what they're saying, when you do get to a point of understanding their flow and understanding how they enunciate words and stuff like that, and really get down to the lyrics, they be spitting some shit. And at various speeds and everything like that, different melodies. Like, I will say, I think, because I can't think of any other group before them that was like harmonious. Well, I guess Bone Thugs and Harmony, duh. But like, I don't think there was anybody before or even after them in hip hop that did that, where like they were singing harmoniously like that, and it was kind of gangster. You know what I mean? So, and again, it's like the only reason they down there is because of everything else I got on my list. But yeah, much respect to them dudes, especially. Oh man, for me personally, the height for Bone Thugs was that song they did with Notorious before he passed.
Notorious Thugs. Yeah.
Yes, bro. Yes. When that song dropped, chills, because Big had just died, and they dropped that song not too long after, and it was just like wow. So yeah, big up to the Thugs, man.
Yeah, Drew, I'm gonna head over to you. Speak on the Crossroads.
I think something that, like, Bone Thugs and Harmony, they always kept it real. They weren't one-dimensional and like their topics of what their songs are going to be. I think that this song will transcend time, has been transcending time, simply because, and even like genres or like what people typically listen to, because it's something that everybody relates to. Like, everybody's going to lose somebody, right? And like having, gangsta young Black men talking about grief and losing people that you love and like death and things like that, I think was very impactful. Like, nah, this shit hurt. No matter how gangsta, we are out here, like, that shit, it hurts when you lose your people. So yeah, I think this song and Bone Thugs just in general has an impact on like my thoughts on hip hop and like what the greatness of hip hop can be. Their flow was unmatched. And like you said, you couldn't always understand like exactly what they were saying, but their emotion was always felt. So like, you know, just despite what you're saying, like I feel you, you know what I'm saying? Even just in like your cadences and your rhyme schemes and things like that, like you're always going to feel them. So I wish this was higher up on this list, but yeah.
KB, you mentioned it. You were saying like they could sing about this, and they was gangster. You heard all the other songs; they was still gangster. But I also loved like they were distinct as well. You could tell the difference between Crazy, Lazy, Busy, and Wish, going from the really high pitch of Busy Bone to Crazy Bone's really deep cadence. Yeah, like I love that about him. Kolby, you didn't have it on the list, but I know you definitely heard this song and have love for it. Speak on the crossroads. Give us the final words on this.
Who didn't hear this song? Even though it wasn't on my list, I realized that I think I disassociated from this song because I attributed to like so much. Probably the most amount of people that I've lost in my life was during when this song came out, and I feel like that this was the national anthem for grief, and this is played at every wake, funeral, whatever you want to call it, and it was like universally acceptable and expected to be played, right? It's interesting the way that song kind of like transcended into something like really like kind of like black magical. I used to associate this group with West Coast gangster rap, and it wasn't. And then I could like hear some of the differences between it. They're an interesting, hip hop group. That
you got the connection with Eazy-E, so like it makes sense.
Yeah, so it's and you can feel like those impressions there. So like I give them like so much respect. Yeah, I think I kind of broke in my mind. I wanted to have a certain number of like hip hop groups represented with inside of my list, and I can't exactly. I may have to like go check why this didn't show up in my 200 someplace. It should have been.
Hey, there's so many, but it's on the list, so that's what matters.
Hey,
yeah, and it's iconic. But I'm gonna go from there to just say, "Hey yo, what these bitches want."
I mean,
I'm gonna go over to Kolby. Kolby, you start us off on this. It wasn't on your list, but hey,
listen. I could have put probably about 10 X songs on this list. I had to like trim some things down. But when I tell you, like I'm from Yonkers, New York, right? X is from up the hill. Like Rough Riders Anthem, Dogs for Life. This is so emblematic to what I grew up on. And when you can make a song, we're not only one of the greatest R&B vocalists of all time to be able to have Cisco on this, right? And you kind of bridge the gap where most of your song is just, I was about to say something, it's just women's names. It's so hard. I never want, I in my mind, I wanted to have about like 30, like I felt like I needed to have Alicia, Lakeisha, 3 Kims. I want 3 Kims. Like,
we all knew how many Kims they were, and everybody.
Yes.
Where did he meet Cookie? Everybody knows where he met Cookie. Everybody.
This is great storytelling at its finest. X like was just like this prime X. I love this. I'm glad it's on the list. But I knew it had to have been in that instance. So there's some more of my favorite X that I think should be a bit more representative, going a little bit, further. But this was up.
KB, you had this at the highest. You had it at 52. Man, I want to hear some stories around this. That's what I want to hear.
Man, everybody. So in high school, wait, when did this come out? I'm trying to remember.
I think probably close to around where like
I can't remember, but I know
and Jet Li and them came out.
Yeah,
this is like early 2000s.
It's definitely early 2000s.
I want to say I was in middle school. This is definitely before high school.
99. This came out in 99.
Okay, right.
Okay,
99,
yeah, I
yes.
was out of high school by then, but man, it's just so funny because like when that verse come up where he just naming all them women, right?
Naming all of them.
Like I used to look at dudes in the club, and I'd be like, man, you wish you knew that many women, like, stop fronting. But man, that was such a fun song, man. You, X was in his bag, talking his shit like he do. Um, and because he was such a masculine dude in the game at that point, like he could pretty much say anything and the panties was dropping. That's just what it was. Um, and then that combination, I never would have pictured a combination with him and Cisco, especially coming from an era where, not him specifically, but like growing up in an era of hip hop where like they wanted to make a clear distinction between hip hop and R&B. They didn't want to mix the two at all. Um, Specifically when Wu-Tang and Onyx and them came out, like they wanted to draw that line and make that separation. But thank goodness that a lot of rappers folded and definitely merged that R&B hip hop world, because we wouldn't have got a great song like this. What a fun song. I think a lot of people who are a fan of DMX and this song sing it word for word every time, especially when the ladies part come on. The list of ladies come on. A timeless classic, and I could not see it being any lower than what I put it at.
Here's where it was for me. I have a lot of DMX songs that are higher than this song. But this is where my what am I going to do? Because I did the same thing. I'd have had like 10 X songs on here. But I saw What These Bitches Want, and I was like, there's no way this is not in my top 100. Like, I kept getting like this was one of the first songs I thought about. Like, this is on my list, whatever, right? And I'm going to put it around like somewhere between 50, 75. And this more songs I thought about, I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, pushing it. And eventually it got higher than 100. I'm like, nope, move it back down. I don't give a fuck what happened. And every time I go up, nope, it's staying in this top 100. So when it hit 99, I was like, yes, good. Because like, this is representative of one DMX every time, slaps every single damn time. But one, it's representative of DMX. It's representative of hip hop in terms of hip hop talks about everything, and you know about it more now. But like, this is what people who like think hip hop is about. It's the only thing they talk about. But no, if you could talk about it the right way, and you could find a way to like be authentic, we're always gonna love it. We love toxic ass bops. If somebody is singing some bullshit to you and to us, and then coming back and X is barking at you and saying, I blaze you, you blaze me. It's crazy how he can just come on and just say, I gave you what you gave me, boo, a nut. And then everybody's just like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All while wearing a dog chain and no shirt.
And with the bandana on the bald head. This was I'm a hoe anthem, and you're gonna have to deal with it. And just the line where he says, come on, man, you know I got a wife. And I'm like, this is a trifling ass song, but we don't give a shit.
Yo, we most of the songs are trifling as hell. Like, we really shouldn't. Like, it's awful. But Dirty Mac songs at its finest.
But he is spitting, and Cisco is coming in, and again proving that R&B back then was also trifling and toxic as shit. And we absolutely loved it. Drew, what you got on this?
X was asking a real ass question, like what these bitches want from a nigga. Like, that's a real ass question. Piggybacking off of what you already said about that second verse, Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Alicia, like just. And then you're like, damn, I know somebody by that name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
if you had the name on that list, you were just like, wait for it. Yeah, let's go.
So it was so real. Dope song. I like adding Cisco to it. Because when you think about it, it's like two raspy ass voice niggas just coming together. And I thought that was really dope. And then Cisco gave us that iconic, I'm gonna be a nigga for life. So we playing that every, February 1st and shit like that. So it's just an iconic song. It's really dope. It's really fun. I was probably too young to be listening to it when it came out, but what these bitches want from me.
For real. Yeah, I love this is what makes hip hop so fun, because we will put a song like this out, and everybody's like, actually, this is real. Like, I've been in this situation. I've been in this situation. You've been in this situation. This is not love, yo. What do you want from me? What do I want? Let's just ain't nothing more than what DMX is talking about. Nothing more, and you know it. It's just RIP to X, man. And we'll bring him up again. But like, also thinking about when he did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Just turn around and you get that clip. Him singing that whole damn song. It warms your heart. It warms your heart. But that is number 72. We're getting to the last song on the list, and I am gonna say I did a lot of math to make sure this shit didn't happen too much. This is the one and only song that all three of us have that is ranked lower than a song than two of us had. I could not figure it out. It just kept popping up, and I couldn't get it to go higher than some other songs and lower. But it's a bop, and I get why everybody had it, because it's kind of like the hip hop version of This Is How We Do It. Do it, baby. Do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Kolby, you had it at 110. You had it highest for everybody, but this is the first song on our list that all three of us had. But there's still like we're still not in that spot where it's just songs that all three of us had. And again, I couldn't figure it out, but it doesn't matter. This is a good representation of it. Kolby, speak on Digital Underground, please.
Yeah, I mean, Humpty is like he effortlessly cool. I think it was such a unique sound, and of course, like, we're movie guys, right? So I'm associating so much of like bridging the gap between what I listened to based on what I saw, and it was Demi Moore and her amazingness, and Dan Aykroyd and Nothing to Lose, and It's like that's where I was like, this is such a fun song. And then like there was no internet for me to go look it up or whatever. So I'm asking my cousin.
I had to look it up. Like, Nothing But Trouble, because Nothing to Lose.
My bad. That's Martin Lawrence.
Nothing But Trouble. Yeah.
Forget me. My bad. Nothing But
I was
Trouble,
thinking the
right?
same thing, because I said Nothing to Lose as well, and I had to look it up.
Yo, and it's like, one, I love the power of cable TV, because I probably watch Nothing But Trouble all the time. It's such a weird movie, and this felt like the soundtrack to it. They were like linked together, right? And then being able to have Digital Underground there, and just kind of like how iconic of a sound this. It's so fun. It's such a playful storytelling song. Like, it's super duper cool. And this feels like a sound that I can't really associate to too many other different sounds of hip hop. This don't sound like the Northeast. It don't necessarily sound like, the West Coast. It's something of its own.
Yeah, that movie and this song is where I found out that Tupac was a background singer for background dancer for Digital Underground, because they had him go up and do his own verse, not on this, but on another song on Nothing But Trouble. Yeah. And again, just like we know where DMX met Cookie, we also know where Shock G and Humpty got busy and what bathroom it was. Like, again, I thought about it this whole week. This is how we do it. As much as of hip hop, as much as you want to say you don't like this song or it plays too much, it comes on and you can't just go, can't not go. And just get in it. Just get in it. I think of KB. I'm gonna move to you, but this is the song that Ed Lover did his dance to, isn't it? Just, on Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah, he definitely used to throw this song.
100%.
He definitely used to throw this song on and do his little dance. Yeah,
classic, man. You had it at 173. Again, the honor of the first song on this list for us that all three of us had on our list.
Yeah. First of all, rest in peace to Shock G.
Yes.
I remember the first time I saw the character of Humpty, I was like, "What is this foolishness?" But then I started listening to the song, and I heard it again and again and again, and I was like, "All right, I like it. Like, it's fun, Because at the time when I heard it, I was a very cynical youth. I was in them streets, so But when I heard that song, I was like, man, this is a real fun song. It's a good time. Um, uh, it wasn't going to be high up on the list, because that's all it was to me at the time, was a very fun song that I would like hearing at parties and stuff like that. Um, and I don't want to say that it didn't have no cultural influence, but I mean, it definitely has, because we're still talking about it to this day. Um, and that reason alone was enough for me to at least put it on that my list of 200, when I put it together. Um, I am not familiar with any of their other songs outside of the. Actually, no, there is one other song I'm
All
familiar
around the
with.
world
Yes,
singing
thank
song.
you,
Because of that damn movie. Because
That's
of nothing but
Because
well,
trouble.
not even because of the movie. Like I grew up on Video Music Box, so them
Yes.
those videos would pop up on there. That's how I used to get some of my more national hip hop outside of New York, New Jersey, Philly, right? So yeah, just them two songs is really like all I know from that circle there. But still, those two really popular songs, from a very popular character, made up character.
Drew, who was dancing around with you as a baby with this song?
I don't know. Older. So when I was born, 2 years after this song came out, they were already in their 40s. So they probably knew the song. I don't have any memories of them. My parents are Motown folks. So, that's more so what I was listening to growing up. But I do know this song, but specifically from movies. I can't recall a specific movie, but I just remember hearing it on more than one occasion. I think about just grooving to it. I think it's a fun song. I know that it was a bop for its time. Do I turn it on? No. Would it have been on my list? I don't know. Maybe closer to 200. But I understand again the cultural impact and significance of this song.
Yeah, it's playing at a lot of weddings. It's playing at a lot of house parties, and a lot
I
of
am
the places.
curious. I am curious to see, like 10 years from now, like somebody putting a list like this together, what that list would look like, if any of those classic songs from the 80s would even make the list, because I feel like there's not enough being done to kind of push those, even though they're classics, like old songs, they're classic songs. I don't think there's enough being done to push those classics forward so that the younger generation can be familiar with it. I'm not saying that they have to bump it all the time, but they have to at least be familiar with it, right?
Heard of it.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where that goes, because like this is what I was saying to you guys earlier, Kobe and Aru, like when we was talking about Not Like Us being on the list. I was like, I am curious where that song is going to be 10 years from now. How much are we going to reference it? How much are we going to talk about it? Because I know of quite a few great songs, and in that case, this songs that, yeah, if I heard it, I'd be like, yeah, I remember when da 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 da. But like, is it a go to all the time? I don't know, right? And I am curious because of that. Because I tell people all the time, like, music and the generations that move it change every 5 to 10 years. Like I've been alive long enough, thankfully, to see that. So I'm curious to see what this next generation of kids that's coming up, when they start getting to their 20s and maybe even early 30s, and they start talking about the top 200 hip hop songs of all time, what that list going to look like. Is it going to comprise of, some of the songs that we talked about, some of the older songs that we talked about, as far as the 80s and the 90s and maybe even the early 2000s? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the way these kids are now, right now, and their lack of knowledge of the history of hip hop and R&B, I I don't know.
I'll give you this. I'm around them every day, and usually my optimistic side wins through. The majority of them don't know what's going on. However, I never go like a year or a day or like a conversation where there isn't like a good 10 to 15% of the kids who are like, no, of course I know that. My mom played that all the time. So like there's hope. There's glimmers of hope. but it's a lot less than what I because I have anytime they want to get me into a conversation about like best hip hop artists and best rappers, they start throwing out names that I have no idea about. And I'm just like, I'm not having this conversation with you. I'm not going to engage.
Ugly God.
Exactly. Nope. Not gonna engage. This is why when you walk in my classroom, Pandora is playing with my music. Your music will not be playing at all. So don't even ask. Cause no. This is what I'm hoping. I am hoping that the classics, there's enough people that it'll keep going and going and going. But that's right. I don't think new classics are being made. Though I do think Not Like Us will become a new classic. That's the one. I know, KB, you're not sure about it.
No. I'm not saying that it's not a classic. I'm not saying that's not a classic.
You just don't know if it's going to be
because again, yeah. That's all it is. I'm curious to see where that, like, how influential that's going to be in not even 5 years. Let's say 10 years. I'm curious to see how influential that is at that point. You know what I mean? But hopefully we're allowed to see it.
I think what makes the classics endure the test of time is they didn't just live inside of our stereos and our cassettes and our CDs. Like with this song that we're just celebrating, it transcended the music and was on TV and movie screens. Songs that come out now don't generally make that leap.
Past TikTok.
That's what I'm saying. So I think if anything, if I'm thinking about like a modern artist, like there may be like a Travis Scott, like Sicko Mode, that'll kind of make its way. But even the way that storytelling is happening right now in movies, like it doesn't have a lasting effect, right?
Yeah.
I finally got a chance to go out and watch Final Destination Bloodlines. The way that movies are made now, those movies don't have an impact because they're made just to like check some boxes and just like get put out. There's nothing that's like, I was talking to my 13-year-old daughter about this. There's nothing of substance with this movie because she just recently watched all the other Final Destination movies. We still remember iconic moments from those movies because there was something tangible about them, right? Mm-hmm. When everything is just made on this computer, and don't get me wrong, these kills look cool, but they feel like they feel like cartoon characters, right? Like inventive, but something about it just doesn't taste the same. I think that's the same way with the music. And I'm not trying to get off my lawn because I still think that there's some great music that's being done. It's just being made the way where the production, you can tell, ain't that high. You can tell they were in the studio just trying to hit bars. Like, but that's what the audience is craving. They don't want to think. Nas, if he came out right now, he wouldn't be able to do well inside of this particular realm of music.
He came out with 6 albums in 24 months. Ending like last year. He relatively, there was that whole conversation with him and Jim Jones. He did do well, but that's because, but not in the general what that little dude on IG said was relevant because they don't know shit. He's still selling out tours and people were still buying it, but then the general what is hot don't know anything about it. So
yeah, I mean, even like when you think about like what's popular on TikTok and Instagram or whatever, right? Like, there might be a song that's circulating with all of these videos that, you know, kids will flock to and buy because they hear it all the time on TikTok and Instagram when they scrolling, right? And they be like, what is this song? Let me find out what this is. And then somebody made a dance to it or whatever the case may be, right? But again, what is the I don't care if 70 million people watched the song or whatever, right? That they saw on TikTok. What's the longevity of it, right? There's so many songs that done came and went like that. They had their 50 minutes of fame like that, even though they put like record numbers up, and we're not even talking about them to this day. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm curious. This is a very funny time in history with music right now.
I was gonna say, even with that, like with the TikTok stuff, it's a very small portion of your song that people are listening to. Like right now, Mariah the Scientist, at least on my page, that Burning Blue song, right? I was like, oh, let me go download it. And then I was like, oh, I actually don't care for the verses of this song. I just like the chorus when people are doing their little dance to it. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of folks, like you said, are just making songs to have a small little snippet so they can go viral for a little bit and then go about his business.
You know what? You know what's also funny about that? It's so funny you brought that up. So I, as an audio engineer, right, working for Live Nation, a lot of these artists that make it into a space where they have like, you know, they can sell 15 or 2,000 tickets, right? When them people come in there and they start singing their first verse, they might get people to sing along to that first verse. But after that, everybody just standing still, just
Right,
waiting
like
for the next song. Yeah, next song. Let's go. Over and over and over again. So what you're saying is very true. I think most people, most of the younger generation is just like they're only familiar with the little snippet that they were used to on the internet.
I'm hoping. Go
Oh,
ahead,
no,
Kobe, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like one last thing. I think what we're all kind of getting to is that because when this music was celebrated and came out, the world was much smaller. Music was a much more reverential experience because one, over the course of time, music wasn't always available. If I want my favorite album of all time is Graduation, I wanted to tangibly have that album. I needed to physically get it. I had to build in time to my day to make sure that the moment that Target was open, I was there because I wanted to peel that plastic wrap off. I wanted to look at the album art inserts inside there, this cool open up, all this other stuff. I wanted to take that physical CD, put it inside of my stereo, and I wanted to listen to it. I wanted to wear that motherfucker out, right? Like you don't have that same reverence when everything's just available to like it's I don't there's nothing you don't have to give anything to like to put. I had to save up money to go buy a cassette. I remember when I got oh my gosh, I remember my mother used to wear it out. It was Original Gangster, murderer, you love it like that, murderer. Yo, I had to constantly keep like over like I had to take that pencil and like there was so much work to be able to get music. So there was so much more of an investment to have this thing. Like I played Thriller like over and over and over again. These artists, unfortunately, because of how instant music is, are never going to be able to compete with that. It was different, the experience we had to get to be able to have it. So it's not going to have that same like it's just a function of evolution of music and technology.
KB, you talked about earlier, like every 5 to 10 years, it cycles and flips. I'm hoping that reruns with history repeating itself with a lot of trends and stuff.
No, we're gonna get real music again. Trust and believe me.
Yeah.
But we're going through a very ugly phase. I've seen this ugly phase even in the 90s and the early 2000s. I've seen the ugly phase. So we're going through an ugly phase right now.
Though. Like this feels really long. Like
well, it speaks to what you were saying earlier, Kobe. Like when you were talking about because like a lot of music now because of technology, everybody every Tom, Dick, and Harry now feel like they can make an album, right? And even in that process, everything is just such a push of the button, like and then everybody's looking to see what the other person is doing that's popular and trying to emulate that. So everything is cookie cutter. I'm talking about like every young rapper that I've seen so far, for the most, I want to say 90%, right? 90% of the young rappers that come through to the Fillmore or the underground is the same cookie cutter shit. And they can't even rap they full lyrics because they don't remember. You know, they letting the track do all the lyrics for them. You know, they smoked out, they passing out on stage, all kind of foolishness, right? Like it's the same nonsense over and over again. And this is the ugliest I've ever seen it. I'm quite frankly, like it's the ugliest I've ever seen it. But I am convinced that just based on what I've seen with history so far, we are going through a very ugly stage right now, but real artistry is going to emerge out of this. And we're going to have really good, talented artists to celebrate once again.
Yeah. And I can't wait for that to happen for sure. Until then, we're going to keep celebrating our favorites. So let's run down numbers 80 through 71. Starting off with Tribe, Electric Relaxation coming in at 80. Followed by the Rock Wilder, Method Man, and Redman at number 79. And then we had a three-way tie that Drew settled for us. So the next three coming in at 78, Triumph by The Woo, for the children. 77, The Way You Move by Outkast featuring Sleepy Brown. 76-ish, Tricky Two Rock and Rhyme. Two Rock and Rhyme, that's right on time. It's Run DMC. These are the breaks, 75. Then we'll go over to nowadays. Everybody want to talk, like they got something to say. But that comes out when he moves lips, just a bunch of gibberish and motherfuckers acting. They forgot about Dre at number 74. I won't even try to mumble whatever it is that they were saying.
Just say bone, 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 bone.
Boom, 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 boom at 73. Ayo! DMX at number 72. And the Humpty Dance is your chance to do that hump at 71. So thank you all for joining us. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Again, coming back this Sunday with numbers with 70 through 61. Next Sunday, 29th at 7 EST. And KB mentioned it earlier, but any of y'all in the Charlotte area, please make sure you go check him out at the OU Fancy cocktail party. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit just so you can copy and paste O-U and just write it out. You'll find it. And lastly, I want to thank Dreux for joining us this week. I hope you had a good time. Please, please, please make sure you go support her on Dreux's Reviews on IG. She has dope reels, dope thoughts, dope reviews on movies. We be going back and forth about them all the time. Anything else you want to shout out before we get out of here, Dreux?
Nah, thank y'all for letting me come. This was fun. If you do the R&B one like you was talking about, let me know.
I probably will, because this is just too much fun, and I'm not going to want to stop it even when summer comes back. But for all y'all youngins that want to argue with me about rappers and all that, here's where I leave you with.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.